once your divorce is finalized, what happens if your ex is not doing what they agreed to do? I'm Jaclyn Robertson with JR Law Group, and welcome to Family Law Friday. Today we're going to talk about what happens after your divorce is finalized. Once you've reached an agreement, a final agreement for your divorce, and the judge has signed your agreement, you now have what's called a divorce decree. This means your divorce is finalized, and there are terms contained in the decree that will outline how you and your ex will deal with whether it be custody or the finances going forward. A lot of common ways in which the other party is failing to comply with the decree turn on not paying child support. That's a whole other topic for a whole other day. Not paying the extracurriculars they agreed to, not following the visitation schedule as outlined in the decree. Similarly, on the finance side, not paying alimony, not properly distributing the equity from the sale of the marital home, giving you proper access to the 401k or other pension, etc., to give you so that you can get your proper share. These are all ways in which clients come to me saying there's a decree and the other party's not following the decree. So one of the guiding options, one of the main options, is what's called an order to show cause. And what this means is that you're asking the court to order the other party to comply. What do you do to do this, to get your case before the court? Basically, you file what's called, or have your attorney file, what's called an order to show cause. And this means you're outlining to the court the terms of your decree and how the other party is not complying. You submit that to the court. Once they've reviewed the document and agreed, this looks like it could be contempt, they will give you a hearing date. You then have both the document you filed as well as the hearing date served on the other party. The other party now has a duty to show up to court, and they will be the ones that come to court with the burden of proving why they shouldn't be found in contempt. Now, in certain cases, there are some cases where actually the other party can show why what they're doing or not doing is not a willful violation. However, you want to make sure you try to be as informed as possible before you reach this point and understand that, in fact, the other party is willfully not doing what they ought to do. And so at that point, when the court has heard from the parties and finds that the other party is not doing what they need to do, they will then find the other party in contempt and issue some orders that will hopefully correct the problem. While again, this is a civil matter and you're in civil court versus a criminal case where you're prosecuting the other person, it still tends to be a very effective tool. A lot of times the parties will even scramble to get things in order before the court date. It's just not attractive to show up and have the court admonish you, and it tends to be, again, an effective tool. Now, there are measures to consider before you pursue this option. Oftentimes a decree will outline the ways in which the parties should deal with contempt by the other party. Similarly, if this is a child support issue, again, that's a whole other matter that can be treated differently. So if you would like to speak with an attorney about your particular case to explore what your decree says, whether or not the contempt is willful, or what your options are and what your most efficient, cost-effective measure is to basically just get the terms of your decree honored, then give us a call, schedule a consultation so that we can go over your particular case. The easiest way to schedule an appointment is to either call us or go to our website at jrlawgroup.com. And I will add that sometimes, instead of filing for contempt, your best option is actually filing a petition to modify. What's a petition to modify? How do you know whether or not you should file an order to show cause or pursue a petition to modify? And that's what we're going to talk about next week on Family Law Friday. Join us then.